Hello dear students, welcome to my channel. In the previous video we have discussed the various points associated with the computation of business or professional income and section 32, that is depreciation. Through this video let us try to cover the important terms which is associated with the computation of depreciation. For the computation of depreciation allowances, as per section 32 of the Income Tax Act, we have to understand three important terminologies. One is block of asset, second one is actual cost of the asset, and the third one is written down value. So let us discuss each one of these terminology. Block of asset means a group of asset falling within a class of asset comprising of two categories, that is tangible asset and intangible assets. Tangible asset consists of building, machinery, plant or furniture, four items. Next is the intangible asset. Intangible assets means any asset which cannot see or touch but having an economic value. For example, know-how, patent, trademark, copyrights, licenses, franchises, or any other business or commercial rights of similar nature acquired on or after 1st April 1998. These are the two broader category of assets. They are tangible as well as intangible assets. Tangible assets again classified into four category: building, plant, machinery or furniture. All intangible assets falling into single category and all of its rate of depreciation is common, that is 25%. So block of asset means group of assets falling within the class of assets comprising of tangible as well as intangible. Again, tangible assets classified into plant, machinery, building or furniture. Again, the plant, for example, having two rate of depreciation, then it will consist or it will comprise of two block of assets. Similarly, for example, building, suppose there are two type of building, maybe having two rate of depreciation, that is maybe 5% and 10%, then it is said to be two blocks of asset under the head building. So my dear friends, block of assets is a group of assets firstly broadly classified into two categories. Again it is subdivided into four categories in the case of tangible asset. Again it could be subdivided into different category depending on its rate of depreciation. So block of asset is group of asset falling into a particular group of asset comprising based on its nature, type and depreciation. The second terminology is actual cost of the asset. According to section 43 subsection 1, the cost of the asset means the actual cost of the asset reduced by that portion of the cost, if any, as has been directly or indirectly by any other person or authority. For example, suppose you have bought an asset for 1 lakh rupee and you have received a subsidy of 20,000 rupees, then the actual cost of the asset which is qualifying for depreciation is 80,000 rupees and it is not 1 lakh rupee.
Where the assessee
incurs any expenditure for acquisition of any asset, in respect of which a payment or aggregate of payments made to a person in a day or otherwise than by an account payee check drawn on a bank or an account payee bank draft or use of electronic clearing system through a bank, exceeds 10,000 rupees, such expenditure shall be ignored for the computation of actual cost of that asset, which is with effect from the assessment year 2018-19. This means while computing the actual cost of the asset, if the asset is purchased for more than 10,000 rupees, the payment should have happened through bank transfer. It could be through check transfer, maybe demand draft transfer, or it could be even the transfer through electronic clearing services. If it is not through the above mentioned types of through banks, then it should not be included with the actual cost of the asset. So it will not be part of the actual cost of the asset. So basically, the payment should be made through bank if the amount is more than 10,000 rupees. Suppose the inventory is converted into capital asset and it is used for the purpose of business or profession. The actual cost of such asset shall be the fair market value of the inventory on the date of its conversion. This is come into force with effect from assessment year 2019-20. The actual cost may be a deemed value or a notional value. There are certain cases that we discussed one after other. The first one is, if an asset is used in the business after it ceases to be used for a scientific research related to that business, then the actual cost or the deemed actual cost will be computed for the purpose of allowing depreciation on it under section 32 shall be the actual cost to the assessee as reduced by the deduction already allowed on this asset in connection with the scientific research. Suppose this particular asset now the assessee is using here, which is already used in some scientific research owned by himself, then whatever amount as deducted there in the form of deduction or depreciation or whatever name called, to that extent the actual cost of the value shall be reduced. And secondly, if an asset is acquired by the assessee by way of gift or inheritance, then what will be the actual cost for the computation of depreciation? The actual cost of the asset to the assessee shall be the actual cost of the previous owner as reduced by the amount of depreciation which has been allowed on such asset in respect of any assessment year prior to the assessment year 1988-89. So arrived at shall further be reduced by the depreciation that would have been allowable to the assessee for the assessment year 1988-89 and subsequent years, as if the asset was the only asset in the relevant block on which depreciation is allowable. So if it is an inherited property or a gifted property received from one person to other, then to the extent of the depreciation allowed to him, keeping in view that if the asset is used by him throughout the period, on the basis of that rate of depreciation shall be deducted, and the market value of the asset on the date of the acquisition will not be considered for computation of the actual cost in such cases. It is not the fair market value of the asset which is transferred or gifted or given by some person to the other assessee, but the written down value to be computed considering that the asset, if he would have been used during that period of holding. For example, Mr. Arun purchased a car in April 2017 for rupees 1,90,000 for his personal use. On 10th June 2019, he gifted it to his son Surya, who uses it fully for his professional purpose. The market value of the car on the date of the gift was rupees 1,70,000. You are required to compute the cost of the car for the computation of depreciation for the previous year 2019-20, assuming that the rate of depreciation is 15%. See, my dear friends, here the fair market value is not playing any role. we have to start with 1,90,000, and whatever the years that he held, we have to compute the rate of depreciation at the rate of 15%, which is given. So in the first year, 15% of the depreciation to be charged from 1,90,000. So the depreciation value will be 28,500 for the first year. That is 2017-18 year. Then another one more year is there. After holding 2 years only, it is transferred to other person. So 2018-19 is there. 18-19 also we have to compute the depreciation, but the value is 1,90,000 minus 28,500. That is the written down value for the second year depreciation. So on that value we have to compute 15% depreciation. That is equal to 24,225. So the first year the depreciation is 28,500. Second year it is 24,225. So altogether the depreciation will be 53,725. After deducting the value, the written down value or the actual cost of the asset for the second person, that is Surya, for charging depreciation, because it is used for his professional purpose, so that the actual cost of the asset is 1,37,275.
Computation of cost of the car for the assessment year 2020-21. Cost of the car to the previous owner is 1,90,000 less depreciation at the rate of 15% for 2 years. One is 2017-18, second is 2018-19 previous years. So this is one previous year, this is two previous year. Now the previous year is running is 1920. Therefore the assessment year is 2020-21. So we have to compute the cost. We have to compute the depreciation. 1,90,000 into 15 by 100 equals 28,500 for this year depreciation. 1,61,500 is the written down value for here into 15% equals 24,225. So this is the depreciation for 2 years, which means the total depreciation for the previous owner. So the total is equal to 52,725. 1,90,000 minus 52,725 equals 1,37,275 is the actual cost to the second owner, that is 1,37,275. And if he has to compute depreciation, he has to work on based on this at the rate of 15% for the previous year 2019-20.
The third situation for the notional value or deemed value is where before the date of acquisition by the assessee, the asset were at any time used by any other person for the purpose of his business or profession. Here the assessee has not used the asset, but some other person used it. Means it is a second-hand asset acquired by the assessee. Then how the actual value will be computed, actual cost will be computed for the purpose of depreciation. Here, the assessing officer understood that the main purpose of the transfer of such asset was for the reduction of the tax liability, the actual cost to the assessee shall be such an amount as the assessing officer may, with the previous approval of the Joint Commissioner of Income Tax, determine having regard to all circumstances of the cases. So the assessing officer has the authority to decide the depreciation value and the actual cost of the asset if we find it that it is for evading tax or it is just to for manipulation, then it will be taxed from the hands of the assessee. Mr. A purchased a machinery for 1 lakh rupee in 2012. On 1st May 2018, he sold the same machine to his relative B for rupees 4 lakh. Though the market value of the asset is 1,20,000, he sold it for 4 lakh. The assessing officer will not accept 4 lakh as B's actual cost, but will fix it as he deems fit in view of the market price. This will mitigate the malintention of transfer for getting higher depreciation on enhanced cost. So this kind of intervention from the side of the assessing officer would discourage the tax evasion. So here the assessee bought it for 1 lakh. After a few years, he sold it for a higher price, and whether that higher price could be considered as the actual cost for the buyer for recording it in the books of account under the head depreciation, that is not possible, and it should be started with the actual cost incurred by the first owner, keeping in view that the amount of depreciation is regularly reduced or deducted from the asset for the years which is held by the assessee. For the period of assessment years where the assessee was held it. The next situation under which the actual cost is treated as figure or a notional value, where an asset is transferred by the assessee to another person in an earlier year and it is subsequently reacquired by him. Then what will be the actual cost? Situation 1. The actual cost when he first acquired the asset reduced by the amount of depreciation actually allowed to him in respect of any assessment year prior to the assessment year 1988-89. The amount so arrived at shall further be reduced by the amount of depreciation that would have been allowable to the assessee for the assessment year 1988-89 and subsequent years as if the asset was the only asset in the relevant block of assets. Or situation B, the actual price for which the asset is reacquired by him, whichever is less. The fifth situation is where an asset has been sold and reacquired by the assessee by way of lease, hire, or otherwise. The actual cost for the purpose of computation of depreciation allowance shall be the written down value in the hands of the seller at the time of the transfer. For example, Mr. A purchases a machine on 1st July 2015 for rupees 2 lakh and sells it on 1st August 2018 for rupees 2 lakh 50,000. He reacquires the same machinery on 2nd August 2019 for rupees 3 lakh. What will be his actual cost for the previous year 2019-20, assuming that the rate of depreciation is 15%?
This actual cost of machine for the previous year 2019-20. Actual cost of the asset 2015-16 is 2 lakh less depreciation for 2015-16 at the rate of 15% equals 30,000. So 1,70,000 is the written down value. Then second year, this is first year. Second year, less depreciation for 2016-17 at the rate of 15% of 1,70,000. That is equal to 25,500. 1,44,500, that is written down value for the next year. Then the third year, less depreciation for 2017-18 at the rate of 15% of 1,44,500. 21,675. Therefore, the written down value equals 1,22,825. Then less depreciation for 2018-19 at the rate of 15% on 1,22,825. That is equal to 18,424. Therefore, the written down value for 2019, that is for 1/4/2019 is 1,04,401. So this is the value which is to be taken as the actual cost for this particular asset, machinery. Hope it is clear.
Mr. B purchased a building on 10th August 2017 for Rs 3 lakh and let out for business purpose for 4,000 per month. On 1st April 2019, he took possession of the building from the tenant and used the same for his own business. Find out the actual cost for depreciation for the assessment year 2020-21 and the admissible rate of depreciation is 10%.
Computation of actual cost of building for the assessment year 2020-21. Cost of the building is rupees 3 lakh on 10th August 2017. August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. It is more than 180 days, so it is the full year depreciation. So less depreciation at the rate of 10% of 3,30,000. This is for the first year. So 2,70,000. Written down value after first year. Second year depreciation is at the rate of 10% on this value 27,000. Therefore, it is 2,43,000 is the actual cost of the building for the assessment year 2020-21. So this is for 2017-18, 2018-19. Now the assessment year is 2021, so that the previous year is equal to 2019-20. So this is the actual cost to be taken.
The next situation where a building previously the property of the assessee is brought into use for the purpose of business or profession after 28th February 1946. The actual cost to the assessee shall be the actual cost of the building to the assessee as reduced by the depreciation calculated at the rate in force on that date that would have been allowable had the building been used for the aforesaid purposes since the date of its acquisition by the assessee. The next situation, when any capital asset is transferred by a holding company to its 100% subsidiary company or by a 100% subsidiary company to its holding company, then the actual cost of the transferred capital asset to the transferee company shall be taken to be the same as it would have been if the transferor company had continued to hold the capital asset for the purpose of its business, provided that the transferee company is an Indian company. Let us work out a problem to understand the condition. A Limited is a holding company owning the entire share capital of B Limited, an Indian company. On 1st April 2019, A Limited transferred the following asset to B Limited for consideration stated against each asset. The other particulars are given below. Calculate the actual cost of the asset. The assets are machinery, building, furniture. And the written down value as on 1st April 2018 given, that is 2 lakh, 5 lakh and 1 lakh respectively. And the rate of depreciation is 25%, 10% and 15%. And the agreed consideration is 1,60,000, 4 lakh and 1,15,000. So let us see what will be the answer.
So here the question is, this is the different types of assets and this is the value and this is the approved permitted depreciation. But here this is the sale consideration. The company can buy at any price, no issue. But the asset could be considered for depreciation is only according to the provision. So here the depreciation is agreed is 25%. So that 25% of this 2 lakh is 50,000 depreciation. So that the actual cost should be 1,50,000. This 1,50,000 is equal to 2 lakh minus this 50,000. That is the value, 1,50,000. Similarly, for this building, it is 5 lakh and the agreed price is 4 lakh rupee, but the depreciation is 10%. So that the depreciation to be deducted from the actual cost is for computation 50,000. So that the actual cost to be shown is for computation of depreciation is 4,50,000 and it is not 4 lakh. For computation of depreciation, the actual cost is 4,50,000. Similarly, here in the case of this furniture, the value is 1 lakh and the rate of depreciation is 15. So that the depreciation for the first year is 15,000. So that the value is equal to 85,000 in the books of account for the purpose of depreciation computation, which is got, that is 1 lakh minus 15,000 equals 85,000. So my dear friends, this is the actual cost of the asset for the purpose of computation of depreciation. Hope it is clear.
The next situation for the deemed value or notional figure is, if any asset is transferred by the amalgamating company to the amalgamated company, an amalgamated company is an Indian company, the actual cost of the transferred capital asset to the amalgamated company shall be taken to be the same as it would have been the amalgamating company had it continued to hold the capital asset in its own business. The ninth situation, the asset acquired in demerger, where the capital asset is transferred by the demerged company to the resulting company and the resulting company is an Indian company, the actual cost of the transferred asset shall be taken to be the same as it would have been if the demerged company had continued to hold the capital asset for the purpose of its own business. However, such actual cost shall not exceed the written down value of the capital asset in the hands of the demerged company. The next situation under which the actual cost is a deemed value or notional figure, that any amount paid or payable as interest in connection with the acquisition of an asset and relatable to the period after the asset, if first put to use, shall not form part of the cost of the asset. The 11th situation is duty paid, where an asset has been acquired on or after 1st March 1994 by an assessee. The actual cost of asset shall be reduced by the amount of duty of excise or additional duty leviable under section 3 of the Customs Tariff Act 1975, in respect of which a claim or credit has been made and allowed under the Central Excise Rule 1944. Any subsidy received where a portion of the cost of an asset acquired by the assessee has been met directly or indirectly by the central government or a state government or any authority established under any law or by any other person in the form of subsidy or grant or reimbursement, then so much of cost as is relatable to such subsidy, etc., shall not be included in the cost of the asset. Similarly, where such subsidy, etc., is of such nature that it cannot directly relatable to the asset acquired, proportionate subsidy, etc., as such asset bears to all the assets in respect of which the subsidy, etc., is so received, shall not include the actual cost of the asset. Asset acquired outside India, then what will be the actual cost or deemed figure or deemed cost or the notional value? Asset acquired outside India by a non-resident assessee is brought by him to India and used for the purpose of his business or profession. The actual cost of the asset shall be the actual cost to the assessee as reduced by deemed depreciation that would have been allowable and the asset had been used in India since the date of its acquisition by the assessee. The next situation where an asset is acquired by the assessee under a scheme for corporatization of a recognized stock exchange in India approved by the Securities Exchange Board of India, the actual cost of the asset shall be deemed to be the amount which would have been regarded as actual cost to the transferor. The 15th situation is if an assessee had acquired any capital asset from a country outside India for the purpose of his business or profession before the date of devaluation of the rupee, the additional rupee liability incurred by him in making payments after the date of devaluation will be allowed to be added to the original actual cost of the asset for the purpose of calculating the depreciation allowances. Deductions claimed under section 35 AD. The actual cost of any capital asset on which a deduction has been allowed or allowable to the assessee under section 35 AD, that is deduction in respect of expenditure on specified business, shall be treated as nil, provided in the case of such assessee and in any other case the asset is acquired or received by way of gift, will or irrevocable trust, on any distribution on liquidation of the company, in certain cases in which a transfer is not regarded as transfer under section 47. The next term that we have to deal is written down value. First of all, the aggregate of the written down value of all the assets falling within a block at the beginning of the previous year shall be calculated. Then add to it the actual cost of any asset falling in that block which was acquired during the previous year. The sum arrived in step 2 shall be reduced by the monies receivable together with the scrap value in regard to any asset falling within that block which is sold, discarded, demolished or destroyed during the previous year. So the point is the amount of such reduction cannot exceed the amount arrived at as per step 2 above. If exceed written down value, then it should be taken as nil. The balance under step 3 shall be the written down value for the computation of depreciation for that particular previous year. It is to be noted that if a full block of asset is transferred and the money payable is less than the written down value, under step 3, the loss shall be treated as short-term capital loss. When the money payable in respect of a full block of asset or part of it is more than the written down value that is calculated under step 3, then it is treated as short-term capital gain. As per section 242C, a slum sale means the transfer of one or more undertakings as a result of the sale of the lump sum consideration without values being assigned to the individual assets and liabilities in such sales. So lump sum sale is nothing but without assigning the value for individual asset, the complete assets are as such sold as a whole together, then it is said to be slum sale. In simple words, we can say that it is the transfer of a whole or part of a business concern as a going concern. In case of slum sale, the written down value of any block of asset shall be decreased by the amount of actual cost as reduced by the depreciation actually allowed up to assessment year 1987-88 and deemed depreciation thereafter in relation to the asset transferred. However, such a decrease shall not exceed the written down value of the block of asset. Next is asset transferred in demerger, where in any previous year, any asset forming part of a block of asset is transferred by a demerged company to the resulting company. The written down value of the block of asset of the demerged company for the immediately preceding year shall be reduced by the written down value of the asset transferred to the resulting company. The next point is where in any previous year, any asset forming part of a block of asset is transferred by a demerged company to the resulting company. The written down value of the block of asset in the case of the resulting company shall be the written down value of transferred asset of the demerged company immediately before the demerger. The next situation where any asset forming part of a block of asset is transferred by a recognized stock exchange in India to a company under a scheme of corporatization approved by the Securities Exchange Board of India, then the written down value of the block of asset in the case of such company shall be the written down value of the transferred assets immediately before such transfer. The next is where an assessee not required to compute his taxable income under this act for any previous year or previous years preceding the relevant previous year to the assessment year under consideration, the written down value of the asset shall be computed as follows. That is the revalued cost of asset less depreciation provided in the books of account in respect of the previous years preceding the previous year relevant to the assessment year under consideration. Balance is equal to the value being the written down value for that assessment year. Next, in case of conversion of a private company or an unlisted public company into limited liability partnership, the actual cost of the block of asset to the successor shall be the written down value of the block of asset to the predecessor company on the date of conversion. Written down value of an asset used partly for the business and partly for the agricultural purpose, where the income of the assessee derived partly from agriculture and partly from business. For computing the written down value of assets acquired before the previous year, the total amount of depreciation shall be computed as if the entire income is derived from the business of the assessee and the depreciation so computed shall be deemed to be the depreciation actually allowed during the previous year. Work out depreciation allowance for the assessment year 2020-21 from the following particulars of assets of a steel factory. Assets are building, godown, machinery, vehicles and furniture. Written down value given is 15,47,380, 2,15,740, 35 lakhs, 1,50,000, 25,170. And the rate of depreciation is 10% for building, godown and furniture, 15% for machinery, vehicles it is 30%. The factory purchased and installed an old machinery on 31st October 2019 at a cost of 5 lakh of the same rate of depreciation. One godown whose written down value on 1st April 2019 was rupees 1,15,600 was completely destroyed by fire on 1st September 2019 and rupees 1 lakh was received from the insurance company in respect of the loss.
Now the computation of depreciation allowance. Building plus godown. It is less godown destroyed insurance. So we can deduct that value. So 3, 6, 6. So this is the written down value less depreciation. It is common depreciation rate is 10% of this value, so that it is 1,66,312. Therefore written down value after depreciation is equal to 14 lakhs 96,808. So here in this case depreciation allowance is 1,66,312 for building. This is one. Block 2 machinery 35 lakhs. Machinery 35 lakhs. Additional machinery 5 lakh, 40 lakhs. Less depreciation 35 lakhs at the rate of 15% is equal to 5 lakh 25,000. Then 5 lakh into at the rate of 7.5%, because that second hand machinery bought is put for use for less than 180 days, so that only 50% of depreciation can be claimed, 37,500. So the total depreciation in this case for machinery, that is the block 2 item, is 5,62,500. Therefore the written down value is equal to 34,37,500. And here the second one, depreciation allowances, is equal to 5,62,500 for machinery. This is case 2. Block 3. Block 3 is vehicles 1,50,000. Depreciation at the rate of 30%. It is 45,000. Therefore 1,05,000 is the being the written down value. And the eligible for vehicle third block of asset, it is 45,000. Third block. and the block 4 is furniture. 25,170 less depreciation at the rate of 10%, 2,517. 22,653 being the written down value. So here the permitted depreciation is the fourth one, 2,517, that is for furniture. Therefore, the total depreciation allowances possible is 7,76,329 is the total depreciation allowances. So here we have considered the given assets into 4 blocks. The first blocks, that is building, because that go down as well as the building having the same rate of depreciation. So it is calculated in that manner, 10% depreciation. Second is machinery and plant, that is also single rate of depreciation. So it is calculated. And the third one is vehicle or motor bus. It is 30% rate of depreciation. So it is one block of asset. And the last one is furniture, that is also single block of asset. So we considered these all assets into 4 blocks and we classified and applied the rate of depreciation and we arrived the total depreciation allowances. Hope it is clear.
I hope that you have got a basic idea about the basic terminologies that is used for computation of depreciation allowances. These are 3 terms. One is block of asset, second is actual cost, third one is written down value. So the meaning of block of asset, meaning of actual cost, meaning of written down value would differ from situation to situation based on the conditions. So we need these 3 terminologies for the calculation of depreciation allowances. So we must understand the meaning of block of asset, meaning of actual cost for computation of depreciation, and also the written down value. Along with the theory, we try to work out the problems wherever it is required. If you have any doubt or clarification required, please leave it in the comment box and I am ready to support you. If this video is useful for you, kindly share it with your friends and others in the contact. Thank you very much for watching my channel, Doctor's Academy for Taxation and Accounting. Kindly subscribe if you have not done it so far. Once again, thank you very much for watching my channel, Doctor's Academy for Taxation and Accounting.